We're not going to be doing that, but you are here at the course spotlight. My dogs are welcoming me in. Here we go. All right. So, welcome to the Great Discoveries course spotlight. Tonight, we're going to be talking about me. I'm my own host tonight. I get to do the whole thing. You're stuck with me. If you've been here for the last hour, we were just talking about channels on the Great Discovery. If you want to learn more, please look for that live video. It is in the archives of the Great Discovery under events and video archives. But we're going to be talking tonight about conquering social media. So we have, let me share my screen. First, I'm going to spotlight myself because that's probably important so y'all aren't on camera. And let me share my screen and get rocking and rolling. Let me see. We're going to hit present. Yes, there we go. All right. Conquering social media. What does that even mean? Well, if you're like me, social media is a crazy time. There's so many different types of social media out there. We have Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. Now I got TikTok, LinkedIn. How do you keep YouTube and even Pinterest? Yeah, I'm going to talk about Pinterest too. It's all over the place. We have so many different places that we need to be on. So my question is, how is your social media going? How are you guys doing? Do you feel like you have a good handle on your social media? Do you feel like, maybe you got posts that you can make, but you're like, when do I post them and how do I do this? And all of that crazy thing. Maybe you're just like frustrated. You're not getting views. You don't have any engagement. What are you doing? How do we handle that? What are we supposed to do with it? Well, I've got the workshop for you. It is July 19th. It is at 11 a.m. It's going to be 2 hours long. The cost for the event is $60. $60 will get you in the door. What that will also do is if you are not an affiliate with a Great Discovery, it will offer you your first year as an affiliate for free. Yes, the $29.95 will be waived if you buy my course. And then anyone that attends and that you recommend this course to, if they want to share it and they take us up on that great offer to become an affiliate, then they get into our hemisphere. They're part of this. They can actually share it and they can make money sharing it, make commissions on people that they're sharing it with. Maybe they know somebody else that's struggling with social media and they don't know what they're doing and they hear so many different things and they're like, who do I believe and what should I be doing? So this is for you if you're struggling with social media. You want to grow your audience, but you don't know how to do that. How do I get more people to follow me? How do I get more people to subscribe? How do I get more people to do all these different things I need them to do? What do I do? I'm going to help you with that. If you want to learn different platforms, I'm going to help you with that. Maybe you're just on one and you want to do another and you're just not sure. Maybe you have no engagement at all on your posts. You're like posted, you're like, "Oh my gosh, this is the best post I've ever done. This is so cool." And then nobody responds. You get crickets, right? Like, "What? What just happened to me? Like, this is not okay. Why is it happening?" Well, I'm going to help you figure that out, right? And maybe you've heard about this algorithm. All these different places have algorithms that you have to understand so you know how to beat them and work with them and make your posts go viral and all those different things. I'm going to give you some hacks on the algorithm and help you get through so that your posts start to get engagement and they start to spread the message that you want to get out there, bring new clients, whatever it is. So how do you understand what works and why on social media, right? What works? You get 50,000 different things on what works on social media. Well, I'll tell you what it is. It educates, it entertains, and it emotionally connects with people. That's what you need for social media. You need to connect. You need to get that emotional response from people. How do you create content that does connect? How do you do that? What do you do? How does that make sense for you? You have to be clear and human and helpful. Can we use AI? Absolutely. But we need the AI to still have our voice, to still feel like it's coming from us. You have to be clear. And being human, yes, that means you have to put your face out there. You have to be on camera. Listen, Facebook is Facebook. Face. It likes faces. It wants your face. It wants to see you. Videos with you just talking into the camera. Videos with you, a picture of you. If you're just going to do an image, put yourself in it somehow, somewhere. Here's what's going to happen. It's going to spread a lot more because the algorithm looks for faces, and that's what it's going to put out more. It's going to get a wider reach because it has a face on it. And how do you build a strategy that makes the algorithm work for you? Not the other way around, right? What is the secret to making the algorithm work for you? There's a lot. Every single platform has its own algorithm on how they push things out. They're similar to each other in some instances, but like what TikTok does to what Facebook does to what LinkedIn does, all very different. So engagement, and I'm talking about your engagement, not their engagement. What does that mean? You're like, well, I want engagement on my post. I want people to comment. I'm not going to comment on my own post. Nope, that's not what I mean. We're going to talk about what it takes to get engagement on your posts by you being engaged on the platform itself. You need to be engaged. Yes, they are tracking your behaviors on social media. So if you go on Instagram and you make a post, it's not going to spread that far. Why? Because you went on there, you made your post, which is why, having things that just post for you, not always the best anymore. They were thinking about how do we keep these automatic posts, these programs that you can schedule posts out for, right? How do we get around that? That's what Instagram was like, hanging out with Facebook one day. They were talking about it. And then like TikTok came in the room and they were like, yeah, man, I hate it when they do that, all this stuff. And then they're not even actually on the platform. They're just scheduling stuff. Nope. They had to come around. They had to figure out a way around it. And what they thought, and here's what they do. They want to see what your engagement is on the platform before you post and after you post. So you need to spend time on the platform. How much time? 5 or 10 minutes. Then make your post and then spend another 5 minutes. And this means that you're engaging with other people. You're commenting on other people's posts. You're liking other posts. You're sharing other posts, not your own stuff with somebody else's. And now you're feeding that algorithm all that engagement. So it's your engagement that will bring in other people's engagement, right? And that is part of that algorithm. And if you start doing things like that, you're going to find that your posts are going to do a lot better. One of the things that's really important to me and why I do this is I really want to start where you are. I don't like people will ask me where should I be? What should I be doing? What's the best place for me to post? Do I have to be on Instagram? I don't like Instagram. Can I be on Instagram? Sure, you can be on Instagram. Will you be successful? Most likely not. Why is that? Because you don't want to be there. Which means you're not going to do the things I just talked about, which means you're not going to, it's going to come across. You're going to be like, I don't want to be here. I'm not really engaging. I don't really care. You want to be where you feel the most comfortable. I want to start where you are. And then after we feel really good about that, then we can start trying these other places. So if you're home and where you feel the best is LinkedIn, you should be focusing like crazy on LinkedIn. That's where you are. That's where you need to be. That's where people are going to get quicker responses from you. They're going to be engaged with you more because you're comfortable there, right? Really, really important. So who am I and why should you listen to me? I've been a social media manager. I worked for that. I did that for a while and I loved it. It was just really a lot of work all the time for not a lot of money. I'll tell you that right now. And I, really leaned into my podcast hosting, producing, and coaching. I still work with social media all of the time because Social media is a big part of podcasting and growing a podcast and helping others grow their podcast. I just had Donna Mitchell was on this morning. She took my podcast audit. I went through her socials and her YouTube, and I gave her a whole list of suggestions from how she does her podcast to how she runs her social media. And she took all of my suggestions and she just landed on she got an invitation to be on a board. Was it directly related to me? Maybe a little bit. I'm going to take a little bit of that, but she's doing a lot better, right? Because she implemented the strategies that I gave her. I'm going to help you with those strategies in this class. I think it's going to be stupendous. You're going to love it. I was also an educator for 20 plus years, and I'm a founding affiliate with a great discovery and now a trainer on here as well. So I love that I get to be with you guys and do all this stuff all the time. So here's what the course is about. This is what you're going to get. Step-by-step help in finding the right username across all the platforms. It's really important to be consistent. I am the clever biatch on everything, every single platform, including Whatnot now. So that's where you can find me. I'm going to help you write a bio that actually says something to people. It's not going to leave them going, oh, I wonder what they do, because we don't want people wondering, because if they're not sure what you do, they don't care about you. They need to know what you're doing, but they want to be intrigued by you, right? Intrigue. I love that word. It's a great word. I'm intrigued and you're drawing me in and I want to be part of it. I'm going to help you choose a profile image that works. Please, please, please. If any of you have your profile image on Facebook or anywhere else that is you with a group of people, you are driving everybody crazy. Please take it down and don't do it again. Put a picture of just you on there. All right. It has to fit your brand. It has to fit you. It has to be who you are. And I'll tell you more about that in the course about why that's so important. We're going to create content that actually attracts views and positions you as the go-to. I'm going to go to, like, we all have those people, right? Of who we go to for certain things. If I need this specific thing, I'm going to call so and so, right? I want you to become that go-to in your selected field. So how do we position ourselves to that? And then knowing what to post and where to maximize engagement. How are we going to do that? So that's what we're going to talk about in this course. And then you're also going to get a plug and play checklist for all of the platforms. Very important. And you'll leave with clarity on your brand. You're going to get a content game plan. You're going to have a bio and image and username just dialed right in. We're going to have some tools available for you to keep your momentum going. I'm going to help you. And you're going to have the confidence to finally show up like the boss that we know you are, because you are a boss and you can make your presence known. You can find that space there that really helps you to shine and feel confident. And that's going to spill over as soon as you start getting that engagement and you start connecting with people, then your client list starts growing and you're making some money and you're doing those things. I'm going to help you with the starting point of that by making you feel great about what you're doing on social media. You're not going to hate it anymore, and you're not going to have to spend hours doing it, right? So the platforms we're going to talk about: Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, TikTok, Pinterest. I love Pinterest. I'm going to tell you why, because you can post something on Pinterest today and it's still going to get traction in 4 years. 5 years from now, they're still going to come to you. That stuff sits on there a long time, and people, as long as you're setting it up right, people are going to be going to you for that. Pinterest is huge. You can do a lot on Pinterest without a lot of work. And YouTube. What are we doing on YouTube? How are we connecting with people on YouTube? Those are all the things you're going to do. But wait, there's more. Of course, there's more. You're going to get a month of templates included. These are Canva templates. I like Canva templates. Why? I love creating stuff on AI. Do your stuff on AI. But I'm going to tell you, it's really nice to have templates that you can plug your stuff into. You can change brand covers. And I'm going to show you my quick little tip on how to change brand colors very quickly on any templates that you get in Canva. It is so easy to do. And you're going to be like, how did I not know this? I was today years old when I learned that. That's what you're going to be saying. All right. So conquer social media. The workshop is on Saturday, July 19th. It is a 2-hour workshop. It starts at 11 a.m. It's going to help you win. It's going to help people that you know win. I would love for you guys to share it out. I will put the link in the chat, but I am not multitasking very well right now, so I will grab that in just a second. And I'm going to take you now into some secrets to Canva that I think you guys are really going to like. And then we'll take some questions really fast. I know there's a lot of stuff going on in the background. I see you guys, but let me get you into this. All right, I'm going to share my screen again. We're back in Canva. Now, these are some of the templates that I've been working on for you guys. This is about 45 of them, so it's definitely more than a month's worth. But we're going to go in here, and I'm going to pull this one up and show you how easy this is to do. Okay, so here we have this set. Oh, I should probably go to, let me change the background colors. I'm going to change some colors in here just so that it looks really different. All right, I'm going to change it to red, which isn't the colors I want to use. It's not great discovery colors. So here's what you're going to do. You're going to open up your image, whatever image it is, whatever you've built out, and you're like, okay, I need this in my brand colors, or I want to use this for my other brand, and how do I do that? You're going to go to your uploads, and of course, it's going to give me this little fail, and that's not going to work. All right, well, let me put a different package in there. Let me get all right, I'm gonna go just find one on here. We'll just go grab one since I can't pull that up. We'll take let's find one. I'm looking up color patterns. I'm looking for an image. This one will work. I'm going to copy this image. I'm going to paste it in here for you guys. So I just pasted this in, right? I just pasted this color block in. This is all I need to do. So you can find any colors. You can you can create your own color block. It doesn't have to be off what I'm just doing it fast. So watch this. When I right click on this, it will open up this screen here on the bottom. It says apply colors to page. Click it. Oh, it changed all the colors. But I'm not really sure I like that color, so I'm going to do the same thing again. Right click that color palette, apply colors to page again. There we go. Now we have another one. Still not sure I like that one. Let me do it one more time. Oh, it's going to bring me back to purple. Perfect. That's what I like. And then I can simply just drag that off the screen and get rid of it. Now my coloring is all in here the way I like it. And I can do this with all of my brand colors. All I need is a color swatch with the colors on it. And I can change anything in Canva to my color patterns that I'm using in that. So that's just a quick little way. I just wanted to show you that cool little tip really fast. And now we can go to questions if anybody has any questions. I know I went really, really fast. And there's questions in the chat too. So, oh, thank you, Casey, for putting the link in there for me. Yep, Conquer Social Media. Lori, what's up?
Ma'am, my question is, a lot of times in the past I have thought, well, if I just post a lot, that's what it takes. Can you please continue to disabuse me of the notion that it's number of posts?
It's not number of posts. It's absolutely not number of posts. It's the consistent posts. So if you want to post one time, 3 days, like say 3 times a week, then consistently post 3 times a week, right? If you're going to do every Monday, I'm posting this, and every Friday, I'm doing this, and then I'm going to do one on Saturday. So I'm going to do, I don't care if it's 2 days a week, 5 days a week, all 7 days a week. Just be consistent. Whatever you decide you can do right now, that I just want you to be consistent with it. What that'll force you to do is commit to something and then be intentional with it, right? So I want you to be intentional with what you're posting and not just throwing stuff out there, right? Because we're trying to make you the go-to for that specific thing. We want you to be the one that like, oh, Lori's going to have an answer to that. I'm going to go to see one of her posts. Like if you ask me a question, like if I'm like, who do I go to? Who's my go-to for like juicing recipes? I go to the Jen Jones. Go look her up. She's phenomenal, right? And she has all of this vegan, amazing juicing things to detox your liver and do all these wonderful things. She's my go-to. She's the go-to for that. That's how I know her, right? You need to make yourself, we're going to help you be that thing. Cool. Thanks, Lori. Great question. Beverly. There you go. You got it. Well, we still can't hear you though, so I don't know what's up with that. We'll give you another minute. Or I can go to Mike Hayes and then I'll come back to you, Beverly. Okay. Mike, what's up?
Well, my question is, I wonder if everybody knows how incredible you truly are, how you are living your life with social media. You're living the life of your dream. You're living with love. You're living with your dogs. You're living with your podcast, and you are just such a giving, amazing person with such a great heart. I just can't let go without letting people know she's amazing. She will do everything she can for you. She'll pour her heart into your project. Trust Bree, please. Thank you, Bree.
Thanks, Mike. I appreciate it. That was very sweet. I really appreciate it. Beverly, have you got sound yet? She's like, no. Can you type it in the chat? Maybe. I don't know. It might be a lot to type, but all right. Thanks. Dr. Harris, how's it going?
Yes, great presentation. Took a lot of notes. I'm not familiar with Pinterest. What's the gist of that platform?
So Pinterest is mostly based on images. So you can post images, but it can also connect to articles and to things that you've done. So you can take the image that you want and then link that to, say, something over on LinkedIn or something on your website or an article that you did or a podcast that you were on. And it will sit on there. And what's really key about using Pinterest, you can create your own boards. So many people, they do like those dream boards, right? So where you're like, this is the things I want to have in my life and I'm going to create these different things. I personally used it I've used it for a long time. I would do it with recipes a lot. There's a lot of recipes on there. I would do it with tattoos. Surprisingly, I found a lot of ideas about tattoos on there. So you can create your own little bulletin board with all these pictures. So it allows you to pin it to your own board where you're saving it, then you have access to it. It also allows you to share it out. So Pinterest can actually create a huge email list for you, lots of different things. Check it out. I love Pinterest. I love going in there. I have all kinds. I even have like subgroups of like tiny tattoos, large tattoos, back tattoos.
Okay. Yeah.
But it can be anything that you're dreaming or wanting to do or learn more about.
Yeah.
You can type it in there. It's very searchable and it's also highly searchable. And so
Okay.
it's used quite a bit. Beverly,
Okay.
did I answer your question, Dr. Harris?
Yeah, I had one more.
No,
It
go
was
ahead.
short. On LinkedIn, the value of posting, say, an article as opposed to putting it in as a post. In other words, if it's
On
something
LinkedIn.
on LinkedIn, you can like write an article or you can just put it in as a post. Is
I
there?
like the articles. Personally, I like posts as well, but I think articles raise that bar up just a little bit. It's going to give it a little higher reach, and it's going to give you a little higher stature on things. So I
Okay.
wouldn't do them. I save those for my wow moments, if that makes sense. So if
Uh-huh.
I've got something that I want to scream from the rooftops, I'll do an article on it. If
Nice.
it's just something that I'm posting about and talking about, then I kind of separate it down. Also on LinkedIn, if you are just posting something, carousels do work really, really well on LinkedIn. LinkedIn and Instagram allow carousels so that people will stop and they do check the amount of time somebody spends on your post. And so if
Okay.
they're scrolling through a bunch of pictures that each have information on them,
Uh-huh.
they do like that quite a bit.
Okay.
I don't recommend you doing that on Facebook. Do not put more than 1 or 2 photos on Facebook when a post.
Okay. Thank you.
All right, I'm gonna look in the chat because Beverly still didn't get her. I know Pinterest has made a lot of changes. We'll be going into details on how to use the platform and will it work for doing classes and workshops. I'll look into, I don't know how it would be for doing classes and workshops, but I think there's always a reason to put it on Pinterest if you're putting it other places. I absolutely think it can still drive people. I would probably use it more for premium courses that are evergreen because people will come back to it maybe a year later, 2 years later even, and it'll still be content that's available to them. And then Lori says, is an article better than a newsletter in terms of visibility and status? There's on LinkedIn, I like newsletters. I think they're really making a comeback. What's nice about it is you can actually, when someone connects with you on LinkedIn, you can get them to, it'll automatically send them an invitation to subscribe to your newsletter. And I do accept some of those. And then it will also send it to me in my email inbox. So if I missed it on LinkedIn, I do get an email about that newsletter as well. I would just once again say, make sure it provides value so that people are interested in and want to keep reading it. Jill says, what is a carousel? A carousel is when you are looking at a post and it has more than one image. So on so in Facebook, it'll put all the images up and that'll say +4 or something like that. On Facebook, if you do that, and people comment on an individual picture, it rips that picture from that post, stays in the post, but it also rips it out alone and makes it another kind of a post for people. And so it could be out of context. Maybe you're putting a link into something and you really like, you're just excited about like, and here's some ideas from that. But then if they just get the image, they're not going to take any action or do anything because they're not getting all of that detail that was in the original post. So that's why I don't like it on Facebook. On Instagram, it stays with the original content. So people can swipe through. And so if you ever go on Instagram and you see under the image, it's got those dots, which means there's more than one image and you can swipe it across. That's called a carousel. And what that does is it slows the scroll and makes it, you stop on their post and Instagram goes, oh, post must be really good. Everyone's stopping. Y'all hanging out for 20 seconds. Must be great. Let me push it out more. Right. So it's like the algorithm's like, oh, wow. Right. Popular post. Everyone's stopping on it. And so that's why carousels are great on Instagram. And the same thing is on LinkedIn. So on LinkedIn, it only shows you the one image and you have to scroll. You have to click the little caret to go to the next one, or on your phone, you have to scroll across it to get to the next image, but it doesn't separate them out because you can't comment on the individual photos. So it slows the scroll. And the more time people spend on it, engaged they can be with it. And you obviously are interesting them with something, and hopefully they'll comment. Algorithm sees the time spent as this must be great. Let me push it out to more people. I hope that helped. Did that help, Jill? Got more questions? Let me know.
Lily has her hand up, Bree.
I saw Jill with her hand up. Who else had their hand up?
Lily.
It's Lily.
Oh, Lily. Hi, Lily. I'm so sorry.
That's all right. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Well, interesting. Just beginning to skirt this whole new world. I wanted to, actually, the most important question I should ask is, how do we have a opening conversation and the consult together?
How do we have a what?
To consult with you or have an opening conversation?
Oh, certainly. I can put my information in the chat and you can reach out to me. Let me do that right now. I do a lot of consultations and things like that. So I'll
Yeah,
put
I
my,
want to see. I want to have an opening conversation to see how we might work together to mutual benefit. I just signed up to the Great Discovery today.
excellent. Welcome to the Great Discovery. Please come to
Yeah.
my orientation next week. So I do training on Tuesdays at 12 noon Eastern time, and that's an orientation. It's at the same link you are on right now. And it's also on the corporate calendar. And I walk you through how to get started, how to find the link, how to share a course, all of the fun stuff to get you started on the Great Discovery.
Excellent. Okay.
Fantastic.